Firstly, it seems to have been a tough year from the outside, but inwardly things have been running smoothly. Have you been taking a good deal of pride in how the season's gone from a stewarding point of view?
Look, I think we're very lucky that we haven't lost a meeting this year, and going into the season, you would have thought with COVID-19 that there would be some race meetings affected, but thankfully, we haven't, and that's a big thanks to, I guess, everyone involved.
Indeed, and just explain some of the things that you've had to do differently that maybe people from the outside can't see.
Yeah, well, look, there's a lot of emphasis placed on, reducing numbers of people allowed at the races. So everyone would be aware that no spectators have been at the races this season. But we also tried to limit the number of people coming for the trainers. So we needed a lot of cooperation there from the trainers. Also, we need to develop lists of who's present at a race meeting. So if there is an issue, that we can alert the authority of everyone that's been at the races. So again, a lot of cooperation from the tracks.
And COVID's forced probably everybody in all walks of life to do something differently. Is there anything different that's changed almost for the better for you now, the protocols and processes, etc.?
We generally have 4 to 5 stewards sitting on a panel, and this season, again, to try and limit the amount of people that we have, we started off with only having the minimum of 3, which is required under the rules, and part of that we also tried to stay in the room, so we tried to not go out and watch the races from the stewards' towers, which allowed us to sort of review the races a lot quicker than what we usually do. I still enjoy watching the races through my binoculars, which I did for which I am back doing now, but yeah, it's something that we're definitely going to look into moving forward, to keep a steward in the room at all times, to start reviewing stuff so we can get onto the more important things a lot quicker.
And in the height of the season, it's obviously very busy. You've mentioned the number of stewards there. Are you happy with the same stewards at each meeting? Because it must sort of tot up on them, 4 meetings a week, some late nights as well.
Yeah, we were trying to do some experimenting with working remotely, and it's not ideal. You need to have really good an internet setup. But you talk about the Stewards Panel. Do we need more? I think one of the big things that we can sort of promote here is that we have a lot more consistent decisions, and that's because the panel that you'll see walking in at a lane at our first meeting is pretty much the same panel that you'll see sitting on World Cup Day. So for the jockeys, trainers, anyone that has any issues on race day, it's sort of the same panel that will be adjudicating on it, so that brings a level of consistency.
And would your role be something similar in Australia? Is it standard from one jurisdiction to the next?
It is fairly similar. Like, it does vary slightly. I'd say here we do take on more responsibility back in the office. Yeah. We do a lot of licensing where in your larger authorities you've got a different department to do that. We have a lot more communication with the tracks. And then not to mention the sales. We have 4 of them now, so that takes up a fair bit of time, especially at the end of the season.
I was going to say, what are your sort of summer roles? But you probably just highlighted a good number of them there, haven't you?
Yeah, well, look, during summer, we still go out and do a lot of out-of-competition testing. Yeah. It's a time that I actually quite enjoy, because you can go out to the stables and sit down with the trainers, not really in a pressured environment. You're not restricted for time. But it's important to continue testing horses in the off season, and there's a review of the rules. We obviously try and finalise any pending integrity matters that we have, and we're kept busy enough, that's for sure.